This episode is brought to you by SafeJet, the operators of the anti-dump mechanism that you see all other DeFi projects copying. SafeJet is the safest coin in the crypto game, protecting you from your whales and chart manipulators. That way your investment is still there in the morning. Free travel, cash giveaways, an experienced and doxed team also lets you lock, fly, and land with SafeJet. For more information, visit safejet.io, link in the description below.
High level again, like we really built this platform for the culture. I think one of the ways that you'll find that out very quickly onboarding, as you just went through, the first question that we actually ask you is around your ethnicity and understanding the power of identity, right? We understand that people have extremely complex and diverse identities, and really using that as like the infrastructure for us to like start to develop our own social graph, to understand the behaviors of not only these unique communities, but also be able to track how to bridge these communities together. Our first investment ever as Tribal was actually in Asusu, which was a unicorn startup started by two Black African founders. They raised, I think, $130 million at a $1 billion plus valuation.
If you want to see more videos and interviews like this from influential people in tech, finance, and sports, subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell to be alerted. And go a step further and join the YouTube and membership area for early releases of videos like this. I'm out of here. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another Kicking It session. Today I've got my man Ekechi Wabusi. He's from Tribal. I met him down in, I think, New York, and I also met him in Austin. We keep bumping into each other. I had to get him on. He has a startup that is definitely, I think, going to change the game. I got a lot of questions for him, though. I think you guys will be very interested in this platform. My man Ekechi, what's going on with you, man? Welcome to the show.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Appreciate you having me. Really excited to chat with you, bro.
Absolutely. So where are you out of?
So currently I live out in Atlanta.
Okay.
But looking to move around. So gonna be moving around a little bit after this lease ends.
Okay, got you. Tell us about yourself, man. Again, Tribal is your startup. Kind of give me your background. I'm always curious for first-time guests to know how you got into the space. Do you have a technical background? All that good stuff. Let's start from the start.
Yeah, for sure. High level, again, name's Ekechi, founder of Tribal. Born and raised in Houston to Nigerian immigrants. They definitely gave me that entrepreneurial bug.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up going to Northwestern for my undergraduate and master's while playing football.
Nice.
Was actually captain of the team, had my shot to play in the league, got cut by the 49ers, cut by the Redskins. Ended up back in Houston working at Merrill Lynch in wealth management. I think around 2014 got introduced to the story of Black Wall Street. Completely changed my life. Started obsessing about creating a digital Black Wall Street, and really started questioning who it was I was really helping to make money at the time, and wanted to more so service my own community. And so I knew I wanted to get into technology, so I moved to Austin, went to business school at UT McCombs, helped launch a diversity accelerator down in Austin called Div Inc., and then kind of got pushed up the ladder into a VC firm, working as a VC for a $100 million fund, looking for early stage deal. So that's kind of quick background on me.
Yeah. So what was your foray into crypto?
Foray into crypto is, kind of goes back to being Nigerian,
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find solutions, to help the diaspora ultimately get their money into emerging markets where I feel like a lot of the wealth generating opportunities were.
Mm-hmm.
Today, if you try to send money back to Nigeria, you're getting charged ridiculous fees,
Your remittance network is taxing. Absolutely.
Exactly. And so at the time, I think Ripple, when Ripple came out, was really interested in what they were doing. I think Stellar came out after that.
Yep.
Just kind of dove in after that. Knew I wanted to create a platform and leverage crypto so that we could really unify the Black diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
I thought crypto was a perfect tool to enable us to do so.
Absolutely. How do you feel about, and we're going to get into your platform here in a second, like I'm just wondering how you feel about regulation. I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle, the biggest setback for the crypto industry, in my opinion. You got Gensler coming out saying that he feels like crypto is a commodity. Yeah. That would change the game. I mean, we already know that CFTC looks at crypto as a commodity.
Yep.
But you know, the IRS wants to look at it as a currency. It's so many different views. The SEC looks at it as a unregistered security in most cases, except for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and EOS. Ironically enough, they got through that. What's your take on where we're going and how it's going to either help you or prohibit you from moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the benefit that we have as Tribal is that we're able to learn a lot from what's going on in the space today. So seeing all the activity from 3AC to USDT to regulations on stable coins, it's all been super helpful for us. We ultimately took the approach of using a custodial wallet for two things. One, like making sure that we're in compliance, understanding that we start helping Black people make too much money, the government's definitely going to be knocking on our door. So we want to go about things through all the processes, get our compliance, get our certifications all proper and up to date, and ultimately also provide that simple on-ramp that allows people to activate a native wallet on our platform and as easy as they would activating a Coinbase wallet or a Cash App wallet.
Who is your custodial wallet through? Is it Circle or?
So we're actually using a combination of Prime Trust and Circle. Prime Trust is the primary custodial wallet. We primarily are really just using Circle for debit card payments.
Gotcha.
So that's how it works.
And then Plaid for your your transaction Visa.
Yeah, exactly. Plaid for ACH
merchant
wires.
ACH. Okay.
Yeah, so you can link your bank account to your wallet as well. And like the key to our platform, kind of position ourselves like this Discord for DAOs, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yep.
But high level, it's all about letting people contribute through fiat or crypto.
You probably don't know this about me. Like I've done two failed startups, but in 2014 and 15. So I've gone through a few incubators, Points of Light. We were like number 7th. We didn't make the cut for the Brandery up in Cincinnati. I don't know if you know about that incubator, that program, but I'm very familiar with the startup life, man. And I commend you for, taking this on. And I mean, I think see, when I got into it, I had no idea about the whole VC world, how, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, how prejudiced they are towards people of color and all of that. But it seems like because you've gone through that track, you've gone through the VC world, you've worked in VC and stuff, you've built a network where you'll probably be able to continue to get your funding you need to grow this and scale this platform. So that's pretty exciting to hear. This is a great idea, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and talk about that. What is Tribal in a elevator pitch? I know you know how to do that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. We like to say Tribal is a community platform for diaspora. Ultimately, we help people build community, fractionalize ownership, and pool their money to actually build wealth as a collective. And so, for the Web3 folks out there, if a DAO is a group chat with a shared bank account and cap table, we like to talk about Tribal as a Discord for DAOs, but everything is happening off chain, right? Everything enables you to participate through Visa, through again, cash or crypto. And ultimately the goal is to bring the diaspora together to build wealth as a collective.
Nice. So the app is available now, ladies and gentlemen. I downloaded it, just started setting it up myself. So help me understand, and have you thought about, I'm sure you have, regulation in this space as far as fundraising and stuff? That's another toe you're stepping on, right? How do you navigate that with your end users, and do they have to be registered, or what do you call it, qualified investors, and kind of explain how you're walking around that?
Yeah, for sure. Even taking a quick step back to your comment on accelerators, one, like, shout out to you for starting 2 companies. It's not easy to start a company. A failed company is a learning experience that
absolutely.
And so you really just got more juice than most people out here. If you already have gone through that, because it's a hell of a process. We actually went through Techstars.
Okay. Like we did too. We did Techstars Mobility.
Oh, nice.
They had a Techstars Mobility in Detroit here.
There you
Yeah.
go. And I think, the way most of these accelerators are set up, like even the ones that are trying to do good, there's still that, reality that venture financing isn't really finding its way into the hands of Black founders like ourselves.
Nope.
The data speaks for itself, so there's no need to have like a back
Exactly.
over it. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? It is
It's
what it
like
is.
less than 1%, right?
Yeah, it's
Of funds reach us, and it ain't because we stupid. We got great ideas. I think honestly, bro, it's more so. I don't even know if it's all like 100% all the time a nefarious, malicious reason why they don't invest in us. I truly believe it's because they can't relate to us. So if you don't have Black and brown people making the decision on where funds are going to be allocated in the VC, it's a disconnect. In that you're going to invest in who you feel most comfortable with at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I think a big part of fundraising comes down to relationships. And
Right.
relationships come down
Right.
to like what things did we have in common.
Exactly.
And so it's a journey of trying to like build that bridge with somebody. And obviously, if you have a relationship for years, that's great. But if you're coming in cold, you don't get a warm intro, etc., it's just really hard, I think, for uh, people in those positions today to make sense out of putting their capital behind those companies started by people who look like us. I think since George Floyd, there's been like somewhat of a slight uptick, I'd say, but a lot of the same is still happening. Um, Even, I think there's a story. I don't want to get the names wrong here, but I think there's a lot of emerging Black fund managers that uh, you know, thought that they were about to get an allocation of funding that ended up all actually going to TechStars for like a diversity program. That was very disappointing for a lot of us to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's always this middleman in between us and the capital, and there's never a sense of empowerment for us to actually really go out there and make our own decisions. But
Yeah, so here's a little tidbit from Crunchbase. Black startup entrepreneurs still receive only a tiny fraction, 1.2%
oh yeah, we got
of
that.
the $147 billion in venture capital invested in U.S. startups.
Yeah,
Man,
that
like you said, the stats, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's
They don't.
where we are.
And honestly, I think that where we are in the industry, I like to make this analogy of, we are at the point in this industry, if you think about the NBA before they really started letting Black athletes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the Magic Johnsons came along, the Michael Jordans, etc., right? They were playing, a game, they were making money, et cetera. But I really think that this next generation has the opportunity to really unlock the true value that technology can truly have. As soon as more of us are really getting in the door and able to leverage our creativity and business savvy to build scalable businesses. So
Right,
really excited
absolutely.
for that next 30 to 50 years. But
Bro,
today,
I've seen a difference just since I was in it in 2015, 16. Huge difference. Like I'm seeing so much more money, even if those of a tiny fraction. Still, I think it was like less than 1% when I was doing my startup. So 1.2% is we're going in the right direction. Though we got a lot of room to make up. It's still going in the right direction. And it's interesting because I don't want to get off on a tangent too much, but it's funny because I know the statistic, like 9 out of 10 startups fail.
Yep.
So it's not like the batting, like they got to allocate because, you know what I mean? They know that they're going to lose 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And they still choose to.
Yeah. I like to say, it's a hell of a convenient stat to define that as success as a venture fund. Saying like, hey, 1 out of your 10 deals do well. It's like maybe you guys are just really bad at your jobs.
Maybe. Maybe.
But, when they've normalized it, like you said, that's when it really comes down to. It's not like you are always making great decisions here. You just still aren't finding the sense to make great deals, and some amazing founders who ultimately are faced with challenges that really position them really well to actually run and grow a business and problem solve along that journey.
So this is the chart. It's interesting that so again, I did my startup in 2015, 16, and 2015, 16, those years, and look at that, zero point 0.3 billion in rounds and invested dollars compared to today. We're at 1.8. So we're definitely making good progress, and I'm glad to see it.
For sure.
Yeah, so I want to talk further about the Tribal app. Kind of go through in more detail how and what the experience will be when a person is onboarded. What can they do? What can they not do? Kind of just give us a rundown.
Yeah, for sure. High level again, like we really built this platform for the culture. I think one of the ways that you'll find that out very quickly onboarding, as you just went through, the first question that we actually ask you is around your ethnicity.
Yep, I saw that.
And understanding the power of identity, right? We understand that people have extremely complex and diverse identities, and really using that as like, the infrastructure for us to like start to develop our own social graph, and understand the behaviors of not only these unique communities, but also be able to track how to bridge these communities together. As we're really seeing people selecting, 3, 6 various ethnicities to all describe like how they think about themselves and their own ethnic identity. So I think that's a really powerful start. And then obviously we then begin to ask you questions around what kind of assets you're looking to invest in. Based on that, you get to come into our platform and you're now recommended various communities, or what we call tribe pools, tribes and tribe pools that you can join. And the tribe pools are this investor club structure, ultimately says, hey, you can have 99 people in your investor club. And those 99 people can now pull their money together to invest in various assets, where today we really focus around digital assets because that allows for non-accredited and accredited investors to participate. But we will continue to venture out into startups, eventually real estate, franchises, etc.
when it asks me, I'm like, I put real estate and startups. So I'm definitely interested in that once that is up and running. So if I'm a person that wants to start a tribe, how does that work? Can I just start one, and once the funds are pulled together, what happens then? Kind of take us through that.
Yeah, no, one, I love that you're into the startups and real estate. Our first investment ever as Tribal was actually in Asusu, which was a unicorn startup started by 2 Black African founders. And so they raised, I think, $130 million at a $1 billion plus valuation. Knowing the founder, he let us syndicate 10K through Tribal. And I think, again, like that gets to the power of community, natural desire for us to want to build wealth as a collective. And us being able to participate in their financing round as a community, and the Susu in itself being a cultural African practice of community money pooling, just all felt too right to be true.
That's awesome, man. Hey, anytime you get some money from SoftBank, you doing it big time. So that's great, man. I didn't even know anything about Susu. I'll have to definitely look into that. So what happens? How does that work though? So you guys were able to get a $10,000 investment into Susu. What happens then? Are those shares like allocated to the group or the individuals within the group? How does that work?
Yeah, for sure. So to your original question, like how you start a pool, it's pretty straightforward. When you get into our platform, you'll notice a plus sign in the top right area that lets you now create a pool. Add a picture, description. You're able to set the amount, whether it's one-time payment, a monthly contribution, quarterly, annually, etc. And then your pool goes live. Now you can share a simple invite link, similar to like sharing a link to a group chat. And that now pulls people to now be able to immediately download the app, set up their profile, activate their wallet, and then join your pool. And so now they can be contributing passively $100 a month, etc., to the pool of your choice. And then the community wallet that's behind your pool, which again, your pool is just a group chat, but the community wallet behind it allows you to now set things up as multi-sig. So you can have multiple admins ultimately approving a transaction. And you can send that money both on-chain or off-chain. So if it's for real estate or for a startup, you can send the money to a bank account through fiat. It's a Web3 play like NFTs or DeFi. You can set up a Gnosis safe on the back end to send your money to Gnosis safe and then go acquire NFTs on behalf of the company.
In the case with your unicorn investment, how did that go? Like as far as after the evaluation and everything, $100,000 or $1 million worth of shares, or how does that work?
So we actually syndicated the deal through our LLC.
Okay.
And so we contributed the money as a group under an LLC umbrella, and we now are on the cap table.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is dope. That is dope. So each individual in the group is on the cap table, or just the company is LLC is on the cap table.
Yeah,
and then
is on the cap
the syndicate.
table.
Right.
Everyone
Gotcha.
has some level of ownership of the entity.
Right. Got you. That's dope, man. That's dope.
In this scenario, we did have to have accredited investors for the startup.
Okay.
We do have some things on our roadmap, and obviously, we want to work through things on the political side with legislation to try to get access to more people. I think that's our whole goal. Like, non-accredited investors should be able to participate in anything. But as of today, compliance, regulations require, if you're going to invest in a startup, for the most part, you need to be an accredited investor. Although there are nuances to that.
Yeah, like it's a Reg C, was it Reg CF or Reg C that
Correct.
allows you to?
Correct. And we do have, again, product roadmap. We do have some future integrations that'll bring that into our platform so that we could enable that. But as of today, due to not having that Reg CF piece, we had to make sure everybody was accredited. The
Gotcha.
cool part was you only had to have $800 to get it.
Interesting. That's great. Definitely would love to continue to promote you guys. I'm liking what I'm seeing with Tribal. You guys get over there and check it out. They are growing.
We really celebrated our first milestone of, having our first 100 wallets a couple months ago.
Nice.
So we're really excited about the progress and just continue to build.
All right, there you have it. Ikechi, thanks for coming on. Guys, I'll have a link to Tribal in the description of this video. Make sure you go check my man out. Check his startup out. I think it's a great idea, and it will be something big. Believe me. I know. I got into crypto early. I get into stuff early. I can see when I know stuff is going to be something hot. All right, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here. Holla.